Hey, what's going on, guys? F2K Prophet here with the FIFA 16 video. EA have actually released some of the rankings for their top 50 players, so I'm just going to be going through, I believe 50 through 30 today, and showing you guys who the top players are for career mode and just my thoughts on the rankings. They'll pretty much be the same as last year. There won't be these huge differences, maybe like minor drops by 1 or 2 at most, but there shouldn't be any like shocking new people in the top 50. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So at number 50, Angel Di Maria. As we all know, he just transferred over from Man U to Paris Saint-Germain. He obviously didn't fit in very well at Manchester United, so his rating went down by 1. He was an 86 last year, now he's an 85, but if you've been watching PSG lately, you see he's fitting in pretty well there. So I would expect his rating to go back up over the year, if not increase to about 87 by the end of the year, but it's what you would expect. 88 pace, 79 shot, 83 passing, nothing too out of the ordinary. He's not that great with his right foot, but so he's our number 50 for today. 49, Petr Cech for Arsenal, which is kind of confusing. I don't know why exactly he didn't go down. You know, he lost his spot to Thibaut Courtois, so I would expect a drop down to maybe 84, 83. He hasn't been doing too well with Arsenal, so it probably will drop at some point. And as you know, he's about 35. He's out of his prime, so there's not really much you can expect from him, so I'm not sure why EA have him at 85. Alright, so at number 48 we have Cavani. So this is kind of confusing for me. He definitely did better last season than he did his first season at PSG. So I was definitely expecting his rating to at least stay the same. And if you play Ultimate Team, he just had a 91 rated card come out. So I'm pretty sure that EA will be changing this pretty soon. But he's the modern striker, I guess. He's not super fast, but he's tall and he's strong and he can finish. So 85 is a little lower than what I would give him, but seeing him in the top 50 is no surprise. Alright, number 47, Vincent Kompany. He went down by 1. Not too much of a surprise. Man City weren't able to retain their title. He always has had on and off injury issues. So to see him go down by 1, I think is a fair evaluation, but Manchester City, as you know, they have quite a bit of money, so they'll probably be turning things around, and Vincent Kompany is their captain. He keeps the team really going, so I would expect him to get back into form and to go back up to 86. Number 46, David Alaba. Not a surprise at all. He is an absolute monster on the left. He can play at left wing, he can play in the midfield, and he's only about 23, and he's already a complete beast. So 85, I feel that's definitely a fair rating. Got that. He has good pace, he can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble. He's an all-around excellent defender, and I think 85 is definitely very fair for him. At 45 we have Diego Godin. So these are all 85 players, so this doesn't necessarily mean he's better than Alaba. They're just rated the same. But Atletico Madrid, they weren't able to retain their title either, but they didn't have too bad of a year as many people thought they did. Diego Godin was a solid rock for them at the back, so I can see him going up to 85. He's definitely one of the better defenders in Spain. Number 4, we have John Terry, plays for Chelsea. No surprise, Chelsea won the Premier League, so to see him go up by 2, it would be expected, you know. His pace is still horrendous, so he's probably not the best option for Ultimate Team, but he was really solid last year. He was easily Chelsea's best defender, even at the age of 35. He is a little bit older, and Chelsea haven't had the best start to the season. I've seen them trying to bring in they wanted to bring in some new defenders, but that shouldn't be too worrying. John Terry is still their main guy. Alright, so number 43 we have Naldo at Wolfsburg. He was excellent last year. He helped Wolfsburg get second place in the Bundesliga, which I don't think very many people saw coming. They've been making some great signings. Kevin De Bruyne, who actually just got signed to Man City, Andre Schürrle, Naldo. So 4 plus 4 up to 85 is a little bit more than I would have given him. He's going to definitely be super OP in Ultimate Team since he has 73 pace, 88 defending, and he's 6'6". So look out for him in Ultimate Team. Maybe you can slot him in if you have a German side or a Brazilian side, I don't know, but for me 85 is a little too high. Alright, so at 42 we have Yaya Toure. Surprisingly, he's still at Manchester City. As you know, Manchester City overall didn't have the best season last season, but I think -1 is overall is fair. 2 seasons ago, he was an absolute monster in the midfield. I probably would have bumped him up to about 87, but going down to 85 for his performances last season is definitely fair. He's still gonna kill it in Ultimate Team in the midfield for a Premier League side, but those work rates are looking a little bit strange because he is a defensive midfielder technically, but having a medium attacking work rate and a low defensive work rate is a little worrying, but he'll still be a solid player. Alright, at 41 we have Santi Cazorla for Arsenal. Arsenal, I don't know what to say about Arsenal. I don't really follow the Premier League too heavily, so I won't say much about this, but I do, from what I've seen, I do really like him as a player. He's great at free kicks. I think when Ozil sort of stepped down or was injured, he stepped up and he took over the team, ran the midfield. So I would think this is a fair rating. Maybe not for how well Arsenal did in the league, but for him as a player, I would say 85 is solid. At number 40, we have Gerard Piqué for FC Barcelona, and this rating I really don't understand at all. Because Barcelona won the La Liga, they won the Champions League, they won every trophy last year, and he was their star defensive player. He was their rock in defense, you know? So for him to only be at 85 is kind of confusing. I don't know what you need to do to get above 85 then besides winning your league and winning the Champions League. And the 67 passing really makes no sense at all. He plays for Barcelona. He was there through the whole tiki-taka, and even though they've moved away from that crazy passing and like 80% possession, he's still a great passer. So that 67 passing rating really doesn't make any sense for me. So I think EA definitely made a mistake on this one. He should be, I would say, about 87. Alright, so 39 we have Mats Hummels. Again, if you look back up at PK, this really doesn't make sense because he was extremely solid for Germany, but that was summer 2014. They had that information before FIFA 15 came out. So for FIFA 16, this rating makes absolutely no sense. Dortmund finished 7th in the Bundesliga. He has 74 passing, so EA thinks he's better at passing than Gerard Piqué, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, for Germany he's incredible, and for Dortmund he has been incredible in the past, but based off of his performances for last season, he definitely doesn't deserve an 86. I probably would have gone down to 83, 84. So I don't really understand that rating, but not much I can do about that. Number 38, Schweinsteiger. Again, another rating I don't understand. I don't know how he went down by 2 because he was still very, very solid for Bayern. He transferred over to Manchester United, but I don't understand why they would drop him from 88 to 86. They still won the Bundesliga with flying colors. They still won a ton of other trophies, and he was their rock in the midfield. I use that phrase a lot, but he really was. So I don't really understand a drop down to 86. Obviously he was never really that fast of a player, so the pace isn't surprising, but his lack of defense and his shooting and passing, I feel like those should definitely be higher than what they are. Alright, so 37, Marco Reus. Again, I don't understand why EA didn't change any of the Dortmund players, why they didn't go down. When you go from competing for the Bundesliga to dropping down to 7th and barely qualifying for the Europa League, I think you've dropped down a little bit in terms of skill. So I think he should be about 84, 85, but definitely not 86. He definitely deserved to go down. Wayne Rooney in Manchester United, he's still their main striker, even after Van Persie left, even after Falcao left. No matter who they bring in for at least the next 2-3 years, he's their main striker. He has been in a bit of a goal drought, which he just broke with a hat-trick against a lower league team, but he's still a very solid player overall. He's not as good as he was when he was playing back during the Alex Ferguson days with Ronaldo, but I still think he's a very solid striker, and 86 is a fair rating. At 35 we have Arturo Vidal for Bayern Munich. As you know, he transferred from Juventus to Bayern Munich, and he was excellent for Juventus. He took the penalties, he took free kicks, he played defense, he played offense. He has incredible stamina, and he was great for Chile as well in the World Cup and in the South American Cup. So I definitely think he deserved to go up by 1, if not 2. Juventus obviously lost to Barcelona, but he's still, to me, one of the best midfielders in the world. 34, we have Thomas Müller, and seeing him not go up really doesn't make any sense to me. He was 1 goal behind James Rodriguez at the World Cup for top goal scorer. He scored, I believe, 13 goals in the Bundesliga last season. He had about 10 assists, so he was an absolute monster, and a lot of times he's not even played up front because of Lewandowski. He's played on the wing, and he's not, I would say he's more of a striker or forward than a winger. So for him to only be at 86, not to have any changes when Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga, they won all the German cups, for him to stay at 86 doesn't really make any sense to me. And I think he should be a little bit faster than what EA gives him credit for, and his finishing should be a lot higher. So number 33, we have Karim Benzema. He went up by 1, which I don't think really makes sense since Madrid really didn't win any trophies last year. A lot of the time Benzema wasn't in form when they needed him to be in form, when either Ronaldo was injured or Bale was injured, and they needed someone to step up, and Benzema just didn't step up. A lot of people see him as a world-class striker, which I think he is, but last season wasn't exactly an amazing season for him. He played well when Ronaldo and Bale were playing well. So when you have players of that caliber next to you, it makes sense that you play well. In fact, if you don't play well, you're going to probably be sold or put on the bench. So for him to go up by 1, I really don't agree with that. I think he should have stayed at 85. So at 32, we have Thibaut Courtois. 86, that's a very high ranking for a goalkeeper, in my opinion. He was solid for Chelsea. He's only 23. He's an absolute beast in between the sticks, and he's only going to get better. So I think 86 is definitely fair because he will get better in the future, and he will be Chelsea's goalkeeper for at least the next 6-7 years at the very least. So he has time to grow. So 86, fair. So at 31, we have Paul Pogba. Not a huge surprise with Juventus winning the Italian league, with them going to the finals of the Champions League. He played well for France. He played very well for Juventus. So he was about 83 at one point last year, or 82. So 86 now definitely makes sense. A lot of people rank him as like one of the best midfielders in the world. I'm not too sure about that. I think he's still a little bit young. He's 22, so he's definitely quite young. So he still has a bit of growing to do. So I think maybe 85 would have been a more fair evaluation, because I watched the Champions League final and he really wasn't as impressive as a lot of people made him out to be, in my opinion. So I think 85 would have been a little bit more fair, but he's only 22, so he has all the time in the world to grow. So he could be the next Xavi, next Iniesta, midfielder of that level, next Schweinsteiger. We'll just have to see. But I don't think he'll be able to fulfill his full potential at a place like Juventus. He'll probably end up going to some place like Madrid or Barcelona or PSG or Bayern Munich. We'll just have to see. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I did 50 through 31 for today, and then I'll do the rest as EA releases them. This video might come out a little late, so they might have already released them, but don't worry, I will do another video going over the ratings and giving just my small opinion on them. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week and take it easy. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more future content if you want. If you don't, that's understandable, but take it easy.